Hi, everyone, and welcome. I am your Woo Woo Queen Gina, and this is All Things Woo Woo Podcast. I want to warmly welcome you into my sacred space where I will share with you the deepest parts of my woo woo self in the world of woo woo. Now, you can be anywhere in the world, and you chose to be here with me on my very first podcast ever, and for that, I am forever grateful. What you get from spending your time with me today is everything the universe has to offer. On the other hand, I am just a messenger. Please, my woo woos, please, don't shoot the messenger. All Things Woo Woo podcast will explore the world of woo woo, sharing with you all the ways in which you can use woo woo to enhance your human experience, manifesting the life you want using your intrinsic gifts and capabilities. We are powerful sentient beings, my woo-woos, with abilities far beyond our wildest imaginations. And on this podcast, you will learn ways to tap into that power, harness abundant information, knowledge, and wisdom from the divine realm of infinite possibilities. Join me, your woo-woo queen, here every week for a new woo-woo episode. All Things Woo Woo streams on all platforms, and you can subscribe on Patreon to get the latest information, notifications, and direct messages delivered straight to your inbox. We are about to embark on a magical journey, one you will find yourself fully immersed in once you start to understand and begin to unlock the infinite potential that resides in the world of woo woo. Now, when I refer to the term woo woo, I am talking about superconscious and mysticism, and not the cocktail. There is a cocktail drink named woo woo. However, for those of you who did end up here possibly looking for the recipe, no worries, your girl got you covered. It's made with vodka, peach schnapps, and cranberry juice. So please go and make your drink, then come back, spend a little time with me, your woo woo queen Gina, and enjoy your cocktail in the world of woo woo. So, for today's episode, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. For those of you who have never heard the term woo woo before, who hasn't heard the term woo woo before? I would be shocked to ask someone if they've heard of the term woo woo and they said no. But hey, anything's possible in this world. Now, for those of you who have, I still want to briefly describe to you what I believe woo woo to be in modern society and what it actually is. For a long time, to me, it seems that woo woo has had this negative connotation in modern society. You know, people, when they use it in a certain kind of tone. Like, there she go with that woo woo stuff again. Oh, that's a woo woo podcast. But actually, I'm going to go ahead and just read the definition, and I'm going to just tell you how it sounds. Well, you can hear for yourself. I'm going to read the definition from the Oxford Languages Dictionary. It lists the definition of woo woo as unconventional beliefs regarded as having little or no scientific basis, especially those relating to spirituality, mysticism, or alternative medicine. Looking at that, they use the term in a sentence, and they say quartz crystals are so popular with the woo-woo crowd, which is true. For my millennials and Gen Zs, Wiktionary lists the definition as a person readily accepting supernatural, paranormal, occult guys, or pseudoscientific phenomena, or emotion-based beliefs and explanations. So, thinking about that for just a moment, I guess I would have to say that some of it is true. Woo-woo is emotion-based. Woo-woo is supernatural, and woo-woo is alternative to how we used to perceive our existence, how I used to perceive our existence here in this three-dimensional world. Some of you may or may not be religious or spiritual, but to understand the world of woo, you don't have to be either. A lot of people use the terms religion and spirituality interchangeably. Some believe they are one and the same. Some think that they're very different. But to me, life is cross-sectional, meaning that everything is intertwined in one way or another. whether we realize it and understand the ways or not. On this podcast, I'm never going to discuss religion or spirituality directly, but I think it's important to mention them here and make the distinction that woo-woo is neither. Now, when I say that woo-woo is neither, you can best believe, however, that on some level, the three of them will intertwine in one capacity or another. Now, going into what I believe woo-woo to be. I believe woo-woo to be a measurable set of actions that we can take to make our human experience a certain kind of way. No one is in control of woo-woo. There are no rules, restrictions, or boundaries. There are no precepts. There are no overseers. There is no right or wrong. Woo-woo is us. It's our essence and our intrinsic nature. We are the only ones who can employ woo-woo to make direct changes to and in our lives. People can't woo-woo for us. For example, you'll hear somebody ask others to pray for them. We can't woo-woo for others. Woo-woo is individualistic, meaning if you ask me to woo-woo for you, I have to make some type of cross connection of how your desire interconnects with a personal desire of my own. Then after that, I will have to deeply and intrinsically want that desire for myself. Not based off of you, but just internally wanting that desire for myself. So when I employ woo-woo to manifest that personal desire for myself, it can or may not have an indirect effect on your own personal desire that you ask me to manifest for you. Personally, I feel it's virtually impossible for me to give something you desire directly to you via woo-woo. Because again, and I'm going to probably say this a gazillion times on this podcast, woo-woo stems from intrinsic nature. For clarity's sake, I'll give this example. Okay, say you ask me to woo-woo you a husband or a wife, and I would have to intrinsically find a desire that stems from you having that union with said significant other. You know, we're best friends. I'm married, of course, and you're not, if you're seeking a spouse. Now, let me just say, I'm not really married. I'm just using this as an example to express the thought that I'm trying to relay here. So, my husband and I, we go on these marriage retreats with other couples, and I deeply, as my best friend, want you to tag along with us. But because you're not married, it would be kind of weird for you to go with me and my husband on. It won't be weird in my eyes, but it'll be weird to other people. So woo-woo is just unpredictable in the ways of manifestation. It's possible that an opportunity might come up or, arise for you to join us on the trips in a non-participatory type of way. Maybe you are extended, say like an offer or something to be like a liaison for the couples. Now, if you accept the offer, then guess what? I manifested my intrinsic desire to have you along on the trips. However, you did not get the spouse that you desired. This is why it must be accepted that woo-woo is of an intrinsic nature, a deep feeling nature. Woo-woo may indirectly affect other people's lives around us when we manifest in our lives, but it's never in a direct capacity. Now, let me just reiterate, I'm not speaking on religion or spirituality, but being successful in the world of woo-woo stems directly from our personal beliefs. No matter if they were taught to us when we were children, or if they're beliefs that we've adopted in our adulthood. We don't purposely allow our beliefs to interfere with woo-woo, but they do. Most times we are unaware of woo-woo even working in the background. So we attribute a lot of our successes and the things that happen to us that makes our lives what we want it to be through the belief in religion and spirituality. For others, it's a deep belief in themselves, period. Either way, though, it's a great way to manifest because it offers some intensity. It offers the same intensity that is required to manifest in the world of woo-woo. To understand that it's woo-woo working in the background, just take the notion that some of the richest people in the world are non-religious. Again, please don't shoot the messenger, but these people become so successful or are able to manifest all the things they want in their lives without God and without prayer. However, some of the wealthiest people in the world are also some of the saddest people in the world. This is because they are limited in their understanding of the power they possess. For business, they can see a clear path to success, but for their personal happiness, not so much. People are quick to frown upon the notion that they are woo-woo or that it's even a legitimate thing. All that woo-woo is an intrinsic nature and desire to exist in the world in a certain kind of way. We think about those ways and we feel them on a deep conscious and subconscious level. If this is not understood, then one will not know how to apply focus and intensity that they have, say, for maybe business, towards their overall happiness. Woo-woo has a dualistic propensity, so it works for both high and low vibrations. Unfortunately, most people exist in a low vibrational state of being. I didn't make that up. That's just how it is. We've been wired to exist that way since birth. Some of the beliefs we've been taught keep us in this limited frame of mind. Well, I'm here to tell you that woo-woo is a get out of jail free card if we just use it properly. It's easy to have clarity and desire for the things we like and want to focus on, but what about those areas of our lives we tend to ignore? What happens in those areas if we are not actively applying high vibrational focus and emotions to them? Understanding how the world of woo-woo works and manifests in our lives from that space ensures that it's an overall effect it takes on our lives. Woo-woo is non-specific with a domino effect. To give an example, say you want to manifest a successful business because as you see it, that is what's going to make you happy, right? So you believe in yourself and you love the work you do. So you apply the intensity it takes to be successful, and voila. One day you look up and you've built a successful business, and that makes you happy, of course. Now, exploring that happiness, you see that it's limited to just the business. You hate going home. You sacrificed your whole entire relationship for the sake of your successful business. You are estranged from your family members because you were too busy to show up for them on special occasions. And the list goes on and on. These things do not make you happy. There was no domino effect to other areas of your life from your successful, happy business. Now, let's manifest that same successful business using and through woo-woo. So you spend your time envisioning your successful business and how that would make you feel, because that's where manifesting and woo-woo starts from. It starts from visualization, then having a deep intrinsic feeling and connection to that vision, to whatever that vision is, and how it will make you feel. So you constantly focus on that feeling of intense happiness that you may or may not be thinking as a result of the business. That's unimportant. Woo-woo is more about feeling than it is thinking. This is why I say you absolutely cannot fake frequency. In woo-woo, specifics play little to no role in manifestation. In this example I used today, woo-woo is not focusing on the fact that it's the result of a successful business that brought the happiness. It's focusing on the intense feeling of happiness overall. While the business may have been the catalyst, woo-woo will employ the domino effect to spread that feeling of happiness to your entire being and existence. Personal beliefs play a role in this instance because if you think happiness in one area of your life will automatically bring happiness in other areas of your life, then you set yourself up for disappointment. If you believe that prayer will solve all your problems, that is prayer with the words only, will solve all your problems, then you set yourself up for disappointment. If you journey into the world of woo-woo, and just to give clarity on where you find woo-woo, it's your intrinsic nature. So it's inside of you, now and forever. Woo-woo will always work in your favor to process your desires in a way that serves you to your highest and greatest good. Overall, we need not worry ourselves with the details and how we're going to get from point A to point B. That's irrelevant. I'm speaking from experience. Woo-woo works in its own time, in its own way. But I'm telling you, if you have that deep intensity and feeling and emotion, you show gratitude for the things that you already have in your life, woo-woo works in ways that you would have never, ever conceived of yourself. I'm a living, breathing, walking testament to this. Just to give a quick example of something that happened yesterday to me. So I am in retail sales. So I was really anxious, not anxious, but excited to make this sale. So halfway through the communications with the person, I kind of started to feel like, okay, this is not going to happen. So of course, what do? I don't worry about nothing. I don't stress about nothing. I go to woo woo. So I got into my space of woo woo, and I just kind of started visualizing that money in my bank account and just feeling that intense feeling. Well, the sale never went through. Okay. However, the next day I encountered a situation where I did a favor for someone. I didn't ask to be paid for the favor or anything like that, but I was compensated for the favor. And when I tell you the favor was in the same amount of money that the sale would have been the day before, I just stood there, looked up at the sky and was like, you are awesome. So that's it, my woo-woos. That's the message I came to deliver for you today. It's my greatest hope that some part of this message has resonated with you in your woo-woo self, also known as your intrinsic nature. It is a personal mission of mine to remove the stigmatism from the concept of woo-woo, simply to allow us to reconnect to our higher selves and use our intrinsic power to take control and charge back over our lives. As humans, we've gotten so far off a course of what we're supposed to be doing on this planet. Some of us are just truly clueless. And it saddens my heart. It saddens my heart because I know what exists within us. It took me a very long time to accept it and realize it and learn how to utilize it. I've always known that I've had something there, but it scared me in the beginning. I didn't know what to do with it. But as time went on, and I started to just look inward more, just look inside of myself more, I started to understand things a whole lot better. And yes, woo-woo has definitely shown up in my life, and it has done amazing things. Society would have us believe that woo-woo is not a science, my loves. But it's a lie. It is an exact science. Science is about proving patterns through theory and experiments and accepting and incorporating said findings into the principles that govern our lives here in this worldly experience. I want to leave you with some homework. To prove that the theory of woo-woo is an exact science, think of something small and practical that you want to manifest in the next day or the next hour, whatever time frame you set. But remember, in setting time frames, that woo-woo works in its own time. Now, when I say something practical, y'all, don't be out here trying to manifest $1 million in an hour. Now, in my belief, in my thinking, it's possible that you absolutely can do it, but let's just say it wouldn't be the most practical thing to really test for yourself the magic of woo-woo. Make it something measurable. Maybe you have a job interview coming up later today, tomorrow, or you're waiting on some money to come that seems to be taking forever. Or in my instance, with my example I just gave you, maybe you want a call or a visit from a loved one that's been distant recently. Use that thing as the catalyst for this woo-woo exercise. Spend as much time as you can, at least maybe 10 to 15 minutes, focusing not on that thing, but how having that thing will make you feel. Once you tap into that initial feeling, that is what becomes your focus. You focus on that feeling. You don't have to keep doing a visualization of the thing. Just that feeling, once you feel it in your body, just keep doing it throughout the day. Focus on it with intensity. Intensity like you've never focused on anything else before. Then after that, I want you to come back to this podcast, this particular episode, and let me know your results. Now, I'm your woo woo queen, Gina, and I'm definitely all things woo woo in the world of woo. You all have an amazing day, an amazing magical day, and I will talk with you soon. Woo woo.